Today I'm talking to Thomasina Rogers. Thomasina is the principal at Green Mountain Elementary School at Central Kitsap. She's been there a couple of years, and a few years ago she graduated from Western with her credential, and so just a little chat a little bit about how it's been going. So the first is, why did you choose Western?
I chose Western primarily for very practical reasons, is what it started out as. I was a mother at the time, a full-time teacher, and my husband and I owned a business, and I had a little one at home. And Western happened to just start some of its classes there at Olympic College in Bremerton as part of their extended university, and they offered nearly all of the coursework there. I knew if it was going to be a challenge, then I might transfer, but I wanted to give Western a shot. And being a grad from a former university, then I didn't have that resource to follow up. So it was mostly starting out for locale and for ease of access is what it was.
Okay. And how did you find it? Was it supportive in your endeavors?
It was supportive, extremely supportive, and I knew that Western offered an EDAD program with a principal certification, and when I went to the informational meetings, right away I got the feel for the culture of Western. The informational meeting had a number of supervisors that were there, those staff members who are going to be part of our induction process with paperwork, with getting to know our schedules and keeping track of our credits. And right away I got the feeling that not only was I going to get a graduate experience, like a typical graduate experience, but that I was going to get a graduate experience that was customized as well to my home life, my professional life. And that then secured my decision in attending Western.
Okay. So then, looking back on the experience you had at Western, how would you describe the strengths of the program?
One of the things that I valued most about Western was that all the faculty and staff members were extremely receptive to my needs in life generally. So they were supportive for going through the program, keeping track of your credits, keeping track of your deadlines. You had your class and coursework. Yet there were opportunities to be able to bring your regular life into it and have people have a level of compassion and understanding that there were other parts of your life outside of just the coursework, but in the same regard, still holding very high expectations for meeting and exceeding those standards. And I really felt that the professors through Western, there was a mix in the extended university. We had some that were teaching mostly courses, and then we also had some that were adjunct professors. So they were administrators in the field teaching our coursework, and that alone was extremely valuable because not only were you getting the content that you needed, you were also getting real life experiences and scenarios, oftentimes things that are not in a textbook. Mm-hmm. Very helpful.
Okay. So what kind of person would do well in this kind of thing at a Western program?
I think a person that would do well in a Western program would be just about anyone. I think if you started a Western grad program, in a lot of ways, like a lot of us in our cohort, we knew there was a degree, we knew there was offering for a degree, but we didn't know much else about what that looked like. So you could literally walk in with not a lot of background knowledge of a graduate program and have a very supportive faculty that's going to guide you and steer you. But definitely, I think as in any program, you need to have people who are a bit of self-initiators as well, because what I appreciate about Western is there's not a fixed mindset. So what you bring to the table as well, the faculty are open to ideas, innovative ways for instruction or communicating what you've learned. So anyone that is creative, anyone that's a self-initiator, anyone that is goal-driven, but also someone who's seeking that extra education in their career, even if they weren't sure exactly what that would look like, I think Western would be extremely supportive for helping that person find a path.
When you took your job, Did you feel prepared? Were there any surprises, or did you transition in easily?
When I took my principal's job, I believe that there was a smooth transition because of the preparation and skill in real-life application of our coursework assignments, our action plans had to be relative to what's going on in schools today, that I had a great general knowledge, or a better general knowledge of how a building was run from a curriculum standpoint, instructional standpoint, and a managerial standpoint. I think the program also helped for a smooth transition because even though I graduated in 2007, and there was a span of time where I was on the market and then took myself off the market to spend time with my young child who was in the elementary setting with me as a teacher, that I still felt that when I was ready to go back into the market, I still had support from Western Washington University. So I felt like I wasn't released from you all, that there was still networking support. There was still some guidance. Our supervisors stay in touch with us on a personal level, professional level, which is very, very helpful.
I think it's helpful. I feel very proud to have you as a colleague and a friend, not a student. And so for me, that's been wonderful.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to tell these folks about the program, or any advice to give them?
Yeah, I am a Chamorro, not a Chamorita, that would be a single gal, but I am a native Guamanian Chamorro. And one of the things that I really appreciate about Western's program is Western is, and being in a public school setting, compared to some other experiences that I may have, Western is extremely culturally responsive. I believe that Western does a lot to outreach to people of all different communities, that there is support for students in all communities, and then even when you've gotten your degree, there is still continued support for you as a new and incoming professional. So it's not just induction into a graduate program, it's also induction into a profession, which is wonderful.
It is. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Wonderful having you.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay.